All right, so we're going to look at what I think is one of the most common errors students make when they're being introduced to algebra, and it's what I would call it a run-on equation. It's to do with their working out. I think there's a parallel we can draw with English. So if we just look up here for a moment and think about this sentence, if we just read it, it says, I love to write exams. I would write one every day if I had the time. Hopefully, you realize that's actually in English what's called a run-on sentence because there's no punctuation there. We've got two independent clauses, no punctuation to separate them. So the way we'd actually correct that is we would say this: I love to write exams, full stop. I would write one every day if I had the time. And I think there's a something that students do when they're doing working out that's very similar to that. So let's look at this problem. It says the cost of a taxi is 50 cents per kilometer plus a $7 flat fee. If C is the total cost and N is the number of kilometers traveled, write an equation for the cost of the taxi. So pause the video, have a moment to think about that. But I hope you would agree that we would say that C equals 0.5, which is 50 cents, multiplied by the number of kilometers you travel, plus 7, because it's a $7 flat fee. The flat fee is what the taxi charges no matter what. What I'm more interested in, though, is this question. If Amelia travels 8 kilometers, how much will the taxi cost? So again, pause the video, have a think about that problem. But I hope you would agree that you have to multiply 50 cents by 8, and then you have to add 7. And this is what students often write. They'll write something like this. They write 0.5 multiplied by 8, and then they put that in their calculator or they work it out and they get 4. And then they write 4 plus 7 equals 11. This is what I call a run-on equation. This is now not correct, and hopefully you can see why it's not correct. 0.5 times 4 is 4. It's not 4 plus 7. So we need to work down the page when we're doing these things, and preferably we need to use the equation as is shown here. So we're going to cross that out because that's not mathematically correct, and strictly speaking, we've written something incorrect. So we shouldn't be getting any marks for that type of question. In any case, if we will do it properly, we would write C equals 0.5 multiplied by 8. All right, putting this 8 in brackets just means we're multiplying by 8, and we're going to add 7. Right, notice we're now working down the page, and we've got C on the left-hand side. So C equals 4 plus 7, so C equals 11. So Amelia, to travel 8 kilometers, will be charged $11. So hopefully you can see how that's sort of similar to this run-on sentence here. We need to make sure that we're working down the page rather than across the page, especially when we're saying things are equivalent. Whenever we use that equal sign, we need to make sure that both sides actually equal each other. All right. Hopefully that clarifies things, and good luck.